It's finally time for one of the most anticipated events in wrestling, and that is the 2024 Royal Rumble. This all leads, whatever happens in this event will all lead to what will happen at WrestleMania. So if you guys like more wrestling content like this, hit the like and subscribe button because there is so much wrestling content on the way and I hope y'all will enjoy it. But let's go back and deep dive into the Royal Rumble predictions. And the first match of the night is Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. I think the US tournament and the build up for different stories and the build between KO and Logan has been great, but we all know Logan is gonna walk into Elimination Chamber as champion. Plus two, we all know the predictable match that's gonna happen is gonna be Logan Paul hopefully versus LA Knight at WrestleMania for the title. So I don't see KO winning, but I know KO will give a fantastic match like he always does because he's always great in the ring. And I know Logan Paul, he's just a natural freak athlete, so I know he will give a fantastic match, and this has been a long time in the making for these two to finally have a match with each other. So I'm just excited to see this match anyways, but I have Logan Paul retaining his US Championship against Kevin Owens. Now I figured we should get into what I think will be the main event of the night, and that is Roman Reigns defending his undisputed Universal Championship against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight. And this one I think it's going to be a banger. So everyone's different stories coming against after Roman Reigns, even though it's mainly the stories about for Randy Orton. It's all to have all these great main eventers coming together in a fatal 4-way match, which we all know who's going to retain it, but I think it's still going to be a great match. I think we can get some cool spots and give everybody else moments to shine. Plus two, it's great to see all of these be in a major marquee match to begin with. Like, it's always great to see Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight, so it all works out in the end. So I have Roman Reigns retaining his championship. Now we finally can get into what is the main marquee point of the Royal Rumble is the Royal Rumble matches. But before we get into my picks of who's going to win, I feel like we got to talk about the most obvious thing, which is turns. Who is going to return from injuries or who's just going to finally debut. So I figured let's talk about the men's first, but here are some of them. One of the most obvious ones is probably Brock Lesnar. He's been rumored to come back and hopefully will set up Gunther versus Brock at WrestleMania. Hopefully. The next one, who Sheamus has been gone, and I'm just very interested to see where is he going to go, what story are they going to be involving Sheamus in, because the Brawling Brutes are over. Ridge is down in NXT. We just got the return of Pete Dunne, which is amazing, so I really wonder where is Sheamus going to go. What is Sheamus going to be now with no Brawling Brutes? And then I think the other one is probably predictable. I think we're going to get some NXT call-ups this year, but I think there's only two likely people that we will see from NXT who are two major stars right now. Braun Breaker, who's going to probably be a future main eventer, world champion, and then it's Carmelo Hayes. You gotta admit, those are the two that are going to be carrying the men's division for their future when they get called up. Then the next one, who is rumored that he's possibly coming back, and that is Andrade. Andrade has been rumored, and it's most likely that he is WWE bound, so this could be the place to debut him again at the Royal Rumble. There's many possibilities. We're just gonna have to wait and see on that, but I am excited for him to come back. It's kind of cool. Now we can finally get into the women's Rumble surprises. Way more interesting because there's so many people that are possibilities. It's probably most likely, we haven't heard much of her over her injury status, but we could potentially see Sonya Deville return. If she does return, I would love to see it because I think Chelsea and Sonya are a great pairing, so I would love to see them two back on the television again. I would love to see them back on TV, honestly. Now, one of the most obvious ones to guarantee that she will return, which is Liv Morgan. She's been out of injury for a very long time, recovering, getting injured, and I think there's a high chance that she does return. Even if she doesn't feud with Rhea Ripley instantly, they could possibly have some type of high profile program for her with somebody. There's multiple different people that she could probably have a WrestleMania match with. Now, one that we don't know the full extent if she's fully healed or not yet, we've had is Dakota Kai. I feel like there's a damage control story of her coming back in the Royal Rumble, hopefully not eliminating Bayley, but being back in the Royal Rumble is a potential. So I wouldn't be surprised if she made a return, like maybe she'd be number 20 or number 30 and makes that surprise return, as something will happen in the Rumble that will continue that damage control story. Now, in terms of debuts, I honestly think the biggest one is Jade Cargill. Like, biggest place is to have Jade Cargill debut at the Royal Rumble. Jade Cargill slowly been building, getting ready to make her debut on a WWE in the ring. And I think the biggest spot would be the Royal Rumble. Like, now we get to another person who I think was possibility that she's going to make a surprise return and finally come back to the WWE, and that is Naomi or Trinity. She has been busting her butt off, bet on herself in the Indies and Impact or TNA now, and showed why she is just so special and an amazing talent. We've heard talks of WWE's been wanting to get her back for a long time, so I think it's a high chance that we might finally see Naomi back in the WWE, and I cannot wait to see if she does actually return. Now this one, I'm having high hopes, and I think she will return, but I'm just been having the highest of hopes that she will make her grand return, and that is Mercedes Moné or Sasha Banks. I am so hoping that she is returning to WWE. She has been just so missed seeing Bayley and them interact together, all the different feuds she could have with women. Just her presence alone, not being in the WWE, has been missed. And being my top 3 favorite wrestler, I've just been missing her in the WWE. Even though I've been loving seeing her in the Indies, I want to see her back in WWE. So I think she will return, will be in the Royal Rumble. If she does return, I'm going crazy. Now this one is a long shot. This one is the longest of shouts that you could say. This is the reach of reaches. And this person, and that is AJ Lee. AJ Lee, I never thought she would return, but since CM Punk is back, I have the highest of hopes that she potentially might return, even if it's just a one-off debut and she just comes back in the Royal Rumble or whatever. I would just love to see her back in the Royal Rumble. AJ Lee has been missed, and I just would love to see her in the ring just one more time in WWE. But also likely surprises weird, we're probably gonna get some NXT people. The only 2 to 3 people that I could potentially see being in the Royal Rumble this year is Roxanne Perez. She was in last year. She is one of the biggest stars in the division, so I could see her returning in the Royal Rumble. Tiffany Stratton, she's shown why she's just so special and how she's just a great of a talent, so we could see her in the Royal Rumble. We could see the current NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria being in there as well. It's the most likely ones coming out of NXT, so I won't be surprised if they come back. But the one thing we've all been waiting for, who do I think will win the men's and women's Royal Rumble? And honestly, my number 1 pick for the Royal Rumble, it is CM Punk. It writes itself. The story of him coming back, winning the Rumble, main eventing WrestleMania against Seth Rollins in the main event, just writes itself right there. That feud would feed families. Now in terms of women, and this one's been interesting, there's been so much discourse back and forth. These fans want this person, these fans that want that person, yada you. But to me, in my eyes, it only involves around 3 different women who are gonna win it. And honestly, I think for number 3 is Liv Morgan. There's a story right there playing for itself against Rhea Ripley, who took her out of action. There's a complete big story you could do for WrestleMania against them. And then the most obvious one that's been built for months of people speculating and rumoring, and that's Becky Lynch. One of the most obvious ones that could be the first 2-time Women's Royal Rumble winner, which is a high likely probability that she might end up actually winning this Royal Rumble. She's not my number 1 pick, because my number 1 favorite women's wrestler, Bayley. I think Bayley is going to go all the way and win the Royal Rumble. I think she deserves it from taking all the losses she did for the past couple years, putting over talent, helping everybody else. I feel like this year is her year to define her career, win the Royal Rumble, and challenge Io Sky at the WrestleMania for the title, and hopefully will win it. I think this is her year. This is the year of Bayley, and I think she, out of all the other women, 100% deserves to win the Royal Rumble. So my pick for the Women's Royal Rumble winner, I got Bayley. But hey, this is just all my predictions, all my thoughts and theories for this year's Royal Rumble. This year's Royal Rumble is very intriguing, very interesting, and I cannot wait to see what will happen this Saturday at the Royal Rumble. Comment down below, who do you think is going to win the men's and women's Royal Rumble of 2024? Let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe, and have to wait and see what the Royal Rumble has in store. So now you all, shoo, mush, go.